fear was sweeping the country. Silicosis was taking its toll from the ranks of American workers. Cause of the disease, dust. Results of the disease, disablement, poverty, death. Cure for the disease, none. Throughout America, workers exposed to dust grew fearful of their health, of their very lives.
Silicon dioxide, commonly known as silica, comprises more than 10% of the mass of the Earth's crust. Silica is found in sand, soil, rocks, and many other naturally occurring materials. In its normal form, it is usually not hazardous. When silica-containing materials are cut, sawed, drilled, ground, or crushed, silica dust can be released. In this form it is known as respirable crystalline silica, and exposure can cause serious health problems. These rules apply to any employer with an airborne respirable crystalline silica level of 25 micrograms per cubic meter or greater, under normal or any foreseeable conditions. This is known as the action level. When it is determined that a task exceeds the action level, the employer is bound by the requirements of the silica standard. The company must ensure that exposure is kept below the permissible exposure limit of 50 micrograms per cubic meter. This is the maximum safe exposure level determined by OSHA. Anything above 50 micrograms per cubic meter requires employer action to reduce exposure. The two main types of silica engineering controls are wet methods, and local exhaust ventilation. Wet methods use water or a foam at the point of dust generation, to keep it from getting into the air. This walk-behind saw has an integrated water delivery system to prevent dust from spreading. Local exhaust ventilation removes dust by capturing it at the point it is created. This power saw has a vacuum attachment to prevent dust from spreading. Work areas with respirable crystalline silica hazards must be isolated, to limit the number of employees exposed. Signs, caution tape, flaggers, or other techniques may be used. OSHA created a list of common construction tasks that involve silica hazards. Each task has corresponding engineering controls and respiratory protection requirements. This list is known as Table 1, and it provides all the required steps for protecting workers. If the employer fully implements all the exposure controls listed in Table 1, no exposure monitoring or additional work controls are required. For example, Table 1 requires that cutting of cement fiber board be done outside, with a manufacturer-recommended dust collection system. If this is done, the employer does not have to perform any exposure monitoring, and respirators are not required.